Welcome to Block Party. I'm your host, Mike Wahle. 28-21, Packers over Bears in Lambeau. Game of the week. Awesome game. Awesome win. I'm going to get to the tape soon. Just quickly, I thought this was, if you're a football fan, if you like watching offenses and how plays are designed, this is a masterclass from both Matt LaFleur and Ben Johnson. And the contrast in how they call plays and set up success for their quarterbacks based on where their quarterbacks are in their careers, I think was just really interesting. You watch Ben Johnson, you see the under center, you see the play action pass. So you're cutting off half the field, making the reads easy for him. You see him with the rollouts and the escapability. Caleb Williams is one of the few quarterbacks in the league on a winning football team that you'd probably rather have him in the pocket than outside the pocket. You feel probably better him trying to throw darts in the pocket than letting him win with his legs outside the pocket. And they do a great job of setting that up for success. You see, on the other hand, Matt LaFleur, we have all these weapons back. Jaden Reed's back. I mean, what a breath of fresh air it was to see him get the ball early and often, jet sweeps, whatever it was, running away from the backside safety on the slot. It's just another dimension to this team that defenses are going to have to understand and contend with. And you add that to, Christian Watson. Has a guy ever done more with, in his contract year? He signs the 1-year deal for $11 million coming off the brutal injury. He's got 4 targets, 4 catches, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's like, can I get 6 targets? Can I get 7 targets? I wonder what would happen. The guy is just playing lights out. And, when you take a slant to the house, your eyes perk up immediately. It's just so many weapons. His first touchdown when he's just, it doesn't seem fair. Jalen Johnson's a great cornerback. It's like, you're not going to be able to cover Christian Watson in open space for 40 yards. It's just an impossibility. Jordan Love's the king of, back foot throws, and he's just lobbing to these things, into perfect position. Just a really, really fun game to watch. Our offensive line, I'm going to highlight it on the tape. You're going to see it a bunch, because I think Aaron Banks in particular is doing some good things in the interior of the offensive line. Sean Ryan, I like the way he's playing and continue to build every week like we've been talking about. And we had 117 yards on 26 carries. It's good for 4.5 yards of rush. The Bears give up 5.2 yards per rush going into this game. So it's not the greatest rushing effort you've ever seen, but I think we are building and understanding what we do best. The worst play in football, that side handoff, we only ran 1 or 2. I think we ran 2 or 3 times the entire game. I think I highlight 2 of them. You'll see all of it on tape. Guys, let's just get right to the tape. Enjoy it. I'll do recap here when we get done. All right, let's start first series with the Packers offense. And you love the under center. Like, both teams use the under center all the time. It's crazy how Ben Johnson has simplified the game for his quarterback, and in effect, what's old is new. What was out of style is back in style. Under center football is back, and I absolutely love it. I love this run from Josh Jacobs. Starting off the game, you just feel like there's going to be something going here all day. Again, these guys are not that good in run defense. I think they were giving up 5.2 going into the game. We were slightly under that at like 4.5 maybe. But this is a good effort by the line. I just love the way that, like, it's not perfect, right? But you get guys covered. Sean Ryan crosses over and ends up getting that backside hand on 97 here. And ends up being able to stop that. We got a good double on the backside. Belton gets up on the linebacker. And because the defensive line for the Bears isn't that great, they do have to do a lot of stunting inside. Almost lose Montez Sweat here. This would have sucked, man. I think that's Montez Sweat. Man, that would have been rough. Don't like to see that. Glad he's okay. It was slippery field yesterday. But good way to start the game for Josh Jacobs. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Sets the tone early. All right, so I love this formation. They get into 12 personnel, treat it like 21 with the fullback here, and you look at what you've done with this box. You've got 8 in the box. You got man coverage on the outside. And we're just going to let Luke Musgrave do what Luke Musgrave does really well, which is run away from safeties. So we're going to go here, get that crosser. And the rule of thumb is that the Bears are going to bring pressure. And the rule of thumb is wherever the pressure comes from, try to replace that space with a pass. And because Jordan Love's in gun, he can see this coming. He has time to hold it. And Jordan Love, you don't love his mechanics sometimes from like a footwork standpoint, but is there a guy in the league that throws better off his back foot right now? That's a dime. He throws a lot of dimes off his back foot, man. It's impressive. Great job. Way to use Musgrave for, this is putting players in positions to excel at what they're good at. Early 3rd and 3, you got a bunch formation up top, and we run the worst play in football, and it works. And it works because Josh Jacobs still, whoever said he's too many reps last year, he's been a workhorse when he was with the Raiders. I mean, look at him just take the edge here. This is fantastic. And the reason this play happens, I don't know if I have it on the end zone, but the reason I usually don't like this play is because you got to win here and here. Obviously, if the Mike's walked up, you got to win at the center position too. And Aaron Banks does another, he had another good game, and he did a fantastic job here just covering up Grady Jarrett and giving the outside lane. It's fantastic. Show it here from the end zone. Rasheed Walker does exactly what he's supposed to. Gets on his landmark. But really, that's just Josh Jacobs with elite speed. Okay, so they got something going. This is the pick. And it looks like to me, they're just running cover 2. They got the Mike going deep down the middle on the seam here. The Mike chasing the seam. Just got eyes on. Everybody's back at the quarterback. So this is that, you want to hit that zone. This is obviously a 3rd and long situation. And it looks like he realizes at the last minute this is not the ball he wanted to throw. I don't know if he's going for that in cut and just sees him late. That's what it looks like. But if you see this from the end zone, the ball's not coming out very hard. You got a 2nd and 5 look here. And I love this formation because you go, you're in your gun look with your offset back, but now you've got 1, 2, 3 over here. Safety's walking down. They're going to go out to take this safety with them, and they're just going to run on Jalen Johnson. They're going to run that slant with our fastest player, and this is a preview of things to come, obviously. But he's just got to wait for that safety to clear. Huge open spaces because all these backers are doing what? Shifting over to this side because of all the action over here with receivers. Slants open. Man, Christian Watson, talk about a guy making the most of his contract situation. Holy hell. Can't wait to see what the bag that guy gets. Tight formation. Under center. Great run. Put this play in to show you another great job by Aaron Banks. And here's the other thing I wanted to point out. We're going to see Christian Watson come in and try to crack. A lot of the plays that are getting defeated are not necessarily the guys just in the box. And I'm not saying that to say that it's like Christian Watson's fault or, Jaden Reed's fault or Romeo Dobbs' fault. These insert blocks are getting beat a lot by these either overhang players or these box safety guys who are just going to bum rush this, or if this guy comes down and we're trying to insert here, those insert blocks, those cracks, those guys are getting inside, which is actually which is the design of the play from that safety or that overhang player. But it's just sometimes we look at these places like, man, it's not going anywhere. Well, sometimes those are really, really tough angles. But watch Aaron Banks here. Another fantastic job of winning on that backside. It's the hardest block in for this run to be successful. He has to win. Maintains that square to the line of scrimmage, gets some vertical push, and then forces the guy. We always talk about it. If you can force the guy late to get his shoulder pads pointed towards the line of scrimmage, back can cut. Big man can't cut as fast as little man. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. See from this side here. Good push. This is what we're talking about. This is what we want from the right guard and center. This look here. Fantastic job by these guys, starting to play better and better. It's coming along. It's coming along. Good job. Really like Sean Ryan at center, man. He's just... All right, gun trips look. Back it up a little bit here. Gun trips, probably seen. This guy's getting a little antsy. They're going to have to drop somebody out. Jordan Love again with that back foot throw that just kind of drives you insane. But he's pretty good at it. Back foot. Throws it up. And, a lot of these plays, you kind of look at it, and this happens a couple times. This happens kind of with the Bo Melton touchdown as well, where this backside safety is picking up. I thought they might pop out here, but the backside safety is just picking up this third receiver inside slot. And when he picks him up, and then we're blocking with this receiver and keeping Jalen Johnson in, like this space all the way over here, that like it's literally like, hey, do you think? And because right now he's vertical, like you feel good if you're the defensive secondary coach for the Bears. You're like, okay, we're even on vertical, but the problem is this dude's way too fast and you just run away from him. It's just it looks good on paper. It's an impossible task to ask that guy to stay with Christian Watson. Love it. Great throw. So third quarter, 2nd and 10. Worst play in football. Worst play in football, guys. I'm telling you. Just get this play out. Get this play out of our playbook, man. Aaron Banks does a good job here. 1-2. Pop, pop, pop. Good. Extend that inside hand. Sean Ryan's doing a good job. Belton actually takes some pretty good footwork here. Just gets beat backside. It's a tough block. Landmark-wise, you want to get your head across. But 97 is not small. I just think it's a tough block. I mean, for me, if you're you do this same play and you're in pistol or you're under center and you can hand the ball off over here somewhere, like this guy isn't that much of a factor. Now, Rasheed Walker does lose play side, and the play's going to be over regardless. But I think that's why this is just, for me, is just such a tough play to run. Because you have to be so sound inside when you've got big guys that want to penetrate, because Josh Jacobs is really only 3 yards off the line of scrimmage. But, all right, I belabored that point enough. 1st and 10. Got another 12 under center. Motion across. God, it's good to have him back. This is the second one of the game, I think, for Jalen Reed. And jet sweeps are back in business. Love how they set this up with Romeo Doubs, and then Jalen Johnson just gets picked up by the tight end. Tight end on cornerback, you like that matchup. 3rd and 3. We go back here to 3rd and 3, and this is the big one. This doesn't seem fair. I don't know. I'm not a defensive coordinator. But, this is a tough matchup. I feel bad for him. I don't feel, terribly bad. But it's Gardner Johnson and, safety on Christian Watson. Just that don't seem right. Tough sport. Look how fast this guy is. The cool thing about these plays is it allows the offensive line to come with the ball and be aggressive. I don't know if this is actually a run that he just sees like, hey, wait a second. You guys know you can see kind of a little hand signal here by Watson, like right here. Just kind of goes, hey, everybody knows what's happening here, right? Yeah, right there. Hey, give me the ball. All right. Man. Those are fun. Got a 1st and 10 look out of our 12. Under center again. All good things happen in under center. Remember that, guys. I think this is the kind of play that, this could be a staple play for us. And here's why I'm going to say that. You get the double on the play side. It's not just because we ran this play a lot when I was playing. I love it. But this is more of a counter, so they're going to come down and block. You get this good double, so you get the movement. Aaron Banks is a physical player at the point of attack, so getting him on the move is great. And then all of this kind of turns into the play isn't as much a real smash mouth at that tight end position as it used to be. But I love the counter action in the backfield. So what are we talking about from the backfield? Where, he's stepping back, and now the angle's here as opposed to stepping down and coming A gap and kind of bending it. This is my kind of play. They get good movement at the point of attack, get up to that second level. Tight end does a good job. Both tight ends do a nice job. Man, I love that play. Zach Tom, whatever round pick he was, watch the hip drive, the athleticism that he has. Sub 540. Talked about it before. Good footwork, hips. Oh, it's so good. It's football porn, guys. That's football porn. 1st and 10. Tie ball game. We go under center. Insert block. Psych. Just another guy that can run away from his opponent here. So they bring Christian Watson in. Every time they bring him in, this is just a handoff. They've already run it under center. We're inserting here and releasing. And then we got one-on-one out here because we've got everybody else is in here. They got a safety 15 yards deep, and it's like, I can get there before you can. And these are, from a defensive schematic standpoint, you can see that they're trying to stop the run. But the opportunity for big plays in the passing game out of this stuff, this is why I love under center so much, man. It's like, and look at the timing, just everything works out well. And I don't care how good you are. I think Jaden Reed with open space, just running and running, it just is really tough if you don't know exactly where he's going. This is fantastic. We got a 3rd and 2 play. And the little quick pitch. Every once in a while, Josh Jacobs just reminds you exactly who the hell he is. Nobody blocks this poorly. Montez Sweat is not going to be blocked in this situation. You're going to fake him. Maybe you fake him a little bit more at the tight end position here. Maybe we give him a little bit more and then get it out. But one way or another, he's not getting blocked. Gets out, hit the brakes. I don't know. You just don't know how the hell that happens. Man, what a run. Zach Tom gets up, makes the linebacker go underneath. So good. And then we finish it off with, usually I don't show these little 2-yard touchdowns, but again, man, we're going to highlight the good stuff here, and this is a hell of a good block. They're going to I think the tight end's going to come up here. They're going to let him crash. And they're basically just going to say, you're going to run through that backside defender, that unblockable defender, because our double's going to be so good. And it is. Rasheed Walker. So great bumper. If you're teaching a clinic class, you go, hey, get hip to hip like this. So great bumper by Aaron Banks. He's going to spill off here late for 53. The hip drive here by Walker. Man, I love this. So good. Belton, little clothesline here. So they get a good double play side, 1-2, bang, bang. And then Belton get a nice little clothesline. Yeah. Love it. And there's just not enough eyes on the field for all 5 offensive linemen. I love it. All right, this defense just continues to play well. This is a 3rd and 5 look. And I think this play ends up being a hold. But, dear God, this guy. You got a real rivalry here because you got a quarterback who's only going to get better in the pocket. The drop back game is almost non-existent for these guys. But one thing that I'll be interested to see the next time they play is our pass rush plan going to ever just completely prevent him from running to the right? Obviously, this is a missed tackle that the quarterback makes something happen, right? But as you go through the game, it is interesting, how many times we rush kind of over the quarterback, and maybe they'll have a 2-eye on this side so the right guard can pin him a little bit, and there's always this lane. And then also they're always running the keeper stuff or the rollout. So, having a plan for that, so he has to at least go roll to his left and throw across his body. Not that he can't do it, but Having a plan is going to be something we looked forward to, I think, in a couple of weeks when we play the Bears again. But, man, this guy is a special, special athlete. Now, interesting here, they dropped Micah Parsons. So Hafley's kind of pulling out of his bag early. Like, I know you guys have to account for him, right? So let's just bring 2 off the other side. Walk up Quay. Good to have Quay back. And he just loops out. So Quay becomes the looper. They drop 2 to the other side. So you've got this 5-man pressure that looks like something completely different for than jump. End up getting the hold. I think Rashawn Gary gets the hold from the right tackle. Let's keep it moving here. 1st and 10. Bit of a controversial play here. Looked like a catch, fumble recovery. But more impressed, just look, under center, a lot of action in the backfield. Really a 2-man route. They're going to drop out the running back here late for the check down. They're going to drop out one of these tight ends on the bump out. Really, they're running a 2-man route here. And Caleb Williams, when you watch film on him, the one thing, he can just lace this ball. It's a pretty tight window. It's good when the Bears and the Packers are both good. Football's a little bit better when these guys have a good rivalry. We've got a 3rd and 15 look here. Probably going to keep that tight end in and chip out. Doesn't need to. So they almost like wasted a pressure here. I'll show you why. So they motion out, and they want Quay to leave. So Quay like does the old Troy Polamalu pump fake and ends up coming inside. The problem is they don't really need to because they got Micah Parsons on his right guard, and that's not a matchup. Look at Micah Parsons' stance. If you've been watching tape, he's going inside. I'm not sure what the guard's thinking, but the guard's first step, NFL player, right? He's like, before he even gets his step in the ground, he's like, oh, that was a problem. Maybe we overstepped that. 2nd and 3. Under center, is life. They got 13 personnel here. Enagbari comes up on the backside. It's a good run for the Bears, but Enagbari, he had the sack. Obviously, it was really created by Parsons. He had the monster stick at the end, but just look at him work this backside tight end. Drive, and come in and just finish this thing off. One thing we talked about in this game is, how the defensive tackle is going to hold up. And you see here, like, they can get movement. And this Bears are good offensive line. This is what's supposed to happen, but they do get good movement on 9-6 there. They do get great movement on Carl Brown on the backside. And that's really the source of why these plays are productive. We got a 2nd and 7. Ben Johnson loves the shift, loves the motion. Watch all the action in this. So I'm gonna go back. It's kind of fun football. So you shift back in. And you're in 12. Now you're just in an I-backs. Now you go motion to near, under center, handoff, backside, and they ran the exact same play last week with DJ Moore coming out and kind of showing all this. So they ran the exact same play where they went motion, they brought him over, they pull, and they run this play for a big game last week against the Eagles, I think. So they showed something similar, and Cooper just does a good job of sitting in the pocket here. Nowhere to go. One thing I wanted to show on the sideline is I don't know how – they must have watched this play. Micah Parsons, I don't know how he knows how to do this except for he's watching tape. But watch what he does here at the end. So he's like, all right, you know what? So right now, most guys are going, okay, I'm just going to try to surf this, keep my outside hand free. He just rips upfield. He just rips this upfield because they're trying to actually run this bounce outside. and bring him out. But because Parsons keeps outside here, Coop can stay right in the pocket. And you see the back initially wants to go right there. He wants to go out and chase that tight end. Parsons doesn't let it happen. See from this angle here. He just gets that tight end to have to bubble. As soon as that tight end bubbles, you can see 4 is just like Swift's going, okay, oh, nope, problems. Great read by Coop. Great read by Parsons. Make a play. We got a 3rd and 3. I don't even know what the hell we're doing here. I mean, 14 comes all the way in, inserts in between the tight end. These plays, man. Inserts between the tight end and then ends up running the corner so they can get the backside guy on the second level. You know, we ran flood in high school. It didn't look like this. I think this one's better. You know, one thing that's interesting, too, with Caleb Williams that you have to think about is because, you know, he wants to run. He wants to get outside the pocket, right? Especially on these flood concepts. And so it's by design. But you see Cole Kmet, before he releases out, he's got an outside Gary, so he's going to attack the outside number. All he does is want Gary to go inside. As soon as Gary goes inside, and he's got to because he got the play fake, got all this stuff, right? He's got open space here now. And, you know, if you don't contain it, like in other words, if he's just like, no matter what, I'm playing outside, well, I'm just going to hand the ball off. You know, I've taken the defender out, one of our better run defenders. So, difficult. See here at the end, too, it's Evan Williams is thinking about breaking here, but he sees 14, and he sees that they're beat. So if he doesn't stay high, you can always tackle late. You're not going to tackle 14 if he gets the ball and you've undercut. Kind of got to live with this. 3rd and 4, under center. Got to love it. Again, just trying to get out. Now it's 3rd and 4, and we've got, you know, really it looks like goal line personnel here. You got 84 in the back, looking like they're going to insert lead. This is always kind of a BS fake to me, but it does do a good job of clearing out Isaiah McDuffie here on the end. And you just see, like, Gary's really got no chance here, man. They don't even have to block him. It's just a foot race. It's not fair. Not fair. But that's the price you pay. Oh, that's the price you pay for putting everybody inside the midline of the tackles, right? This becomes a much easier block. I think Darnell Wright's going to just bypass him. Yep. Again, another good play design. 1st and 10. We go from bunch to bunch. Here's the sack. Show this play. This is where, you know, young players and, you know, you just kind of go like, what are you doing right here? So DeAndre Swift's going to chip out, okay? And this guy acts like he doesn't have a chip, and he just almost runs out of here and allows Parsons to effectively, like, he does a little loop-de-loop. He's beat. And then, you know, we got Enigbari just kind of coming underneath after he gets chipped. This is what happens when you got a Micah Parsons. This is Micah Parsons effect. Like, this in tennis is an unforced error. This is unnecessary. You watch the right tackle. Like, what are you doing? You got a chip. Hold your spot. I'm an offensive line. I'm ranting now. Hold your spot, man. This is an easy pass off. If he doesn't move, this is easy. But because of Enigbari's success, I think he just makes a mental error. Like, he's got a chip. I don't understand what they're doing here. But Enigbari shows up, another play. Love it. Little goal line action here. I put this play in, man, because it's like 84's got me thinking, like, what the hell is he doing? Watch 84 here. 84 gets to a point, and he goes back, and then he goes back and forth, and it's like, psych, nope, well, okay. What? And then it ends up working out. So this is an interesting defense by the Packers. You can see the Bears are in like a full house look under center again. I think is it Tom Brady who did this? Yeah, he was talking about, the under center stuff a lot of times really just cuts the field in half. It changes you kind of from like whether you're a field side or a pure progression guy. It gives you a lot less to have to read. It makes the read easier for you. But it's interesting what they do on defense here. So they're going to drop, and they're going to drop the corner, and they're going to play him really like that middle linebacker in like Tampa 2. McDuffie's going to go out. We're going to stay out here. Interesting defense. They just end up running the curl. The safety vacated that space. He's got, the deep half in cover 2. Easy pitch and catch. 1st and 10, fourth quarter. Now, this is where I think they start getting their run game going a little bit more. I think they got the majority of their good yards here. I'll show you the end zone. And we talked about it. Good doubles. 91 gets put down pretty well. And then Wright's able to get up and envelop Quay Walker. Kmet does a good job on Parsons' backside. If you're Parsons, you feel like you should be winning that block probably. And they're forced with Coop playing outside of Parsons here. They got to worry about Caleb Williams on the pull. So it really just creates this natural, because they have effectively an overhang player. Really creates a natural hole in that kind of B-gap area on the backside. But, as we go into playoff mode, we really got to figure out from a D-tackle standpoint, now that Wyatt's out, how are we going to hold up on those doubles a little bit better? I know this is a good running football team. The flip and then the under. This play should have been big for the Bears. Great job coming up and making a play. Great job coming up. I think that's Williams. Great job coming up and making a play here. It was first down, but this could have been big. Okay, we got 2nd and 10, and this is one of those plays I'm talking about. We're going to go all the way over the top. They do under center play action again. All the way over the top, and let Williams, show the fake, look, and then escape here. And, when you see him again, you got to have a different answer than this, I think. Because the other part is when you're going to do that on this side, you got the 2-eye. Well, we can pin the 2-eye. That's not that hard. So that lane, you almost rather have him run straight downhill. And he just throws a rope. It's like you'd rather have the kid thrown from the pocket. You'd rather have the quarterback throwing from the pocket than outside the pocket, which sounds crazy to say out loud, but that's the case. And this is just too long for somebody to have to cover across the entire field. Xavier McKinney's good, but that's a hell of a long distance to cover. It's getting down to crunch time. These are got-to-have-it plays. And Enagbari just absolutely depletes this running back. Look at this play by Enagbari, man. Let me back it up. What a stud. Right here. Comes down the line. And just mauls this guy. You can see they're going to run to that 2-eye. Probably don't want to put Parsons down inside, and the 4-eye is too small. But Enagbari, man, just comes down and just crushes this guy. Man, that's good. Interesting here what Williams is thinking. They're communicating back how they're going to deal with this. And then he sees the crack, so he's like, do I got to get outside? They get everything they want for a 3rd down and 1 play. They get Carl Brooks hooked by the center. They get the backside cutoff. They got their 350-pound guy on our 260-pound D end. They got everything they want. Quay's blocked well enough to not get the 1st down. Enagbari just crushes that. What a hit. What a hit. And it leads to what we saw, the big play against the Eagles, where they ran something similar. Now, in that play, they kept the 3 tight ends to the side. And if you remember, Cole Kmet was the second one in. Now they go across, but they're running effectively the same thing. Now, there's two things. One, he is open if you throw a rope right now. Now, because Keyshawn Nixon, is he catching up? Maybe, I don't know. Everyone's going to talk about this as well, and rightfully so. But this is why you play football. You don't just draw it up, man. It's not always as easy in real time as we think it is. Great play by Keyshawn Nixon, getting back, making the play. It's a great win. Fantastic win. So like you can see, like Caleb Williams is a dangerous player, man. This is going to be a good rivalry for years to come because of that guy alone. He's 32. He's 19 for 35, only 186 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. But you just see like he can beat you with your feet, getting outside that pocket. It's going to be so interesting to understand how are you going to get him in the pocket or rolling out to his left instead of continually being able to, we rush upfield, he goes outside. We put that 2-eye in, he exits to the right. They got the rollout. They got the fake handoff. They got all of it so he can get on the move. He runs and throws so well when rolling out to his right. How do you keep him off of that? How do you keep him away from him? We tried to do it early. We missed the sack. Luckily, we got the hold on Rashawn Gary. But you can see, like, there's just a lot going on that tape. There's a lot of opportunities for both teams. And I love that we are continuing to identify Tucker Kraft's not in the game anymore. We have some limitations at that position. We also have some opportunities. Let's put Luke Musgrave in a position to be successful. He did that a little bit last week. He did it this week as well. Let's put those tight ends in a position to be successful. He continues to do that. So it's the evolving of the offense based on who's in. Jaden Reed's in, Tucker Kraft's out. What do we do? Christian Watson's coming back. He is really, really dangerous right now as a football player. His route menu is expanding. All the things we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. Like, how do we address all this? We finally got this offensive line where we feel like, okay, we're going to be here for a while now. We can gel. Aaron Banks is playing some physical brand of football. Sean Ryan's continuing to play better at the center position. You just feel good about the direction this team's going. I know there's 4 or 5 weeks left in the regular season, but man, I think this is a really exciting place to be. Again, there's ups and downs in the season, but for whatever reason, the Packers have these ups and downs, and they've really been doing it for the last, off and on, really, for the last 30 years with these 3 quarterbacks now putting Jordan Love after Aaron and Brett, where you can have these up and down seasons, and it's like you look up and you're like, man, we're fighting for first place right now. This is fantastic. So we keep building. I think against a tough Denver Broncos team this week, they have a great defense. I just had to do a bunch of work on them last week, so they're an interesting team to look at. We'll get a preview out here later in the week. Guys, if you're enjoying these, thanks again to Packer Nation, first of all. I didn't get to questions today. I had to travel all week, so it's been a little hectic just trying to get this thing in on time. If you're enjoying these breakdowns, please hit the subscribe button, hit that 5-star rating, maybe share with another NFL fan. Mike Wahle here, Block Party, here to educate and entertain. Enjoy the week, everyone.